In 2020, a year marked with many new terms and uncommon events, Oxford University's Press Annual Word of the Year experts, they identified multiple words of the year for, I think that is something that's unlike any other.
Indeed. So in 2021, however, one word has injected itself into the bloodstream of the English language more than any other. That's right, you guessed it. Oxford University Press Word of the Year for 2021. I feel like this is an award ceremony. Is Vax. Dun, dun, dun.
It needed a drum roll.
It did, hey? It did. So we're joined by lead publisher of dictionaries and dictionary data at Oxford in SA, Dr. Philip Lowe, somebody that you should never play Scrabble against. He is here to tell us about these interesting findings. Doctor, it's so good to have you here. You look great. The blue works for you, by the way.
Thank you. This is lovely to be back in person. Last year with the Zoom, doesn't work for me.
Yes.
This is so nice to see you guys again.
It's so nice to have you here in person. And I mean, the word of the year is vax. So whether you've gotten yours or not, how has the word vax been incorporated into our lexicon this year?
Yeah, it was quite amazing when we did the analysis. I mean, I think last year already I said to you guys, this year it'll be all about the vaccine. But vax really jumped out at us. 72 times more this year at the same time than last year. That is quite astonishing. Wow. I don't think we've ever had a word of the year that's done that before.
So you've taken a different approach this year, because I'm hearing that you also have taken on 9 other languages and have really scanned over in a different way for Word of the Year. Any idea why they took that approach?
It was just lovely for us to see how what we thought would apply to English also applies in the rest of the world.
Okay.
And it really, if you look at it, different languages have a different approach to life. You know, maybe words mean a bit more than they necessarily mean to us in English. And if you look at a word like tika in Hindi, in India, that is really a sign or a symbol to ward off evil. And if you go to China and you look at the word from Mandarin, yimao, that is actually a seedling against the epidemic. So you're implanting yourself with a seedling that then protects you against the epidemic.
That is
oh my goodness.
wonderful.
It's fantastic. So I think it just gives us a richer appreciation of language across the globe.
Definitely.
It's beautiful. Wow.
Now, I want to know from a grammatical point of view, in terms of the variations of the word vax, of course there's vaccine, how have you guys noticed it being incorporated into the language?
Well, that's another thing that's so nice about this word vax. You can just chuck it in anywhere and it kind of works. So you can talk about being double vaxxed. Once you have your vax card, you can go on a vaxication. That's probably my
I like that one.
But of course, it's also got the dark side, and the dark side is the anti-vaxxer.
Always a dark side, but also a lot of hope, because if you've scanned across 9 other languages and you've seen it, does this indicate that the rollout of the vaccine worldwide has been a bit more successful than I suppose the tabloids and the news lines have gone and actually shown us? Because if you think about, if you're using the word vax more often, whatever language you speak in, is there not the assumption that it's spoken about and hopefully taken?
Well, guys, I always say language is a bit like a mirror that you hold up to society. So, the fact that it has increased like this, the fact that it's part of our daily lexicon, it does indicate that. It gives us hope. Yeah. But there is also the darker side to it, of course. I mean, I think when I spoke to you guys last year, I said, I wish this year it would just be about the vaccine and we'd be done with COVID-19, but we're nowhere close to that. So you see that reflected in the language as well. You see in anti-vaxxer itself, you see that, but also in other words. For example, the Australian word of the year was stroll out. And they did the stroll out. Yeah, and that's because their rollout program ran into so many difficulties and delays and so on. So I think language shows us the hopeful side, but it also shows us that side that maybe things haven't gone quite as well as we would have liked it to.
Oh, well, I feel like you're the perfect person to ask, because last year you predicted this year is going to be all about the vaccine. What do you predict next year to be?
Crystal ball,
Yes, please.
I think locally in South Africa, we're still going to have a lot of these kinds of waves and lockdowns going. But I also see something else coming through locally, and that is load shedding and everything to do with that. With Kubeck shutting down, you know, both its units next year in turn, that's going to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So here's my prediction for the South African word of the year. It's a wonderful expression that's so hashtagable.
Here we go.
And that is Eskom.
Eskom.
I love that.
There we go. You heard it here first in your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Eskom, maybe the 2022 word of the year. Thank you so much for the insights. Honestly, it's great that you do some word shedding, not load shedding, asseblief. In another historical year for our civilization, vax has certainly kept us preoccupied on all fronts, and going forward, vaccines will continue informing the way we talk and think about public health, community, and ourselves.